Twin sisters attacked by a man who tried to flirt with them inside a Brooklyn deli. That's according to police sources. Tonight, one of the 19-year-old victims is dead and her sister recovering from stab wounds. Investigators say 19-year-old Samia Spain was stabbed twice in the torso on 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place in Park Slope around 2:30 a.m. Her sister was stabbed in the arm and taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police say the altercation happened between the teenagers and two men inside the store. Witnesses say one of the men tried to flirt with the girls before angrily storming off and then returning.
Banging on the door, they locked the door, then he walked away again, so they unlocked the door so everybody could leave. So the second they opened the door, he ran back into the door and started attacking them.
That witness told us the men were intoxicated and ran off after the attack. So far, no arrests.
Developing this morning, one young woman is dead, another in the hospital after an overnight stabbing in Brooklyn. Police say both the young women are 19 years old. It happened on the corner of St. Mark's Place and 4th Avenue in Park Slope just around 3 o'clock this morning. Witnesses say it started when a man inside the deli where they were made a move on the two women and they rejected him. They weren't interested. Well, the witness says the man called the women names, left the deli, and then came back.
He walked down the block angry, and then a couple, like 2-3 minutes later, he comes up and starts banging and kicking on the glass door, trying to get in. They locked the door, then he walked away again, so they unlocked the door so everybody could leave. So the second they opened the door, he ran back into the door and started attacking them.
Police haven't released any details about a suspect or anyone else involved.
Unimaginable heartbreak for a family tonight after 19-year-old twin sisters were both stabbed in Park Slope early this morning. One of the sisters tonight has succumbed to her injuries. Fox 5's Kendall Green has more on the brutal attack.
She's taking it real hard. You know, you never expect nothing like this to happen. What are you going to do?
Alfonso Goodson is facing a level of grief he never imagined he'd feel after getting a sobering call Sunday about his granddaughter, 19-year-old Samia Spain.
Said, Granddaddy, Samia got stabbed and she died. You know.
What was your reaction?
I couldn't believe it. My wife started crying and everything.
Police got the call about a stabbing around 2:20 Sunday morning after someone stabbed Samia and her twin sister right outside of the Natural Plus bodega in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Mohammed Albar, who works at the store, watched the girls grow up.
They're very nice girls. I know the family. It's very nice. It's so sad to see them. One of them gone. You know, one of them she passed away.
A witness on scene says some guys were hanging out at the store, hitting on the group of girls who just walked in.
One of the guys had complimented the two girls that had walked in with their friends, and they said no.
The groups started going back and forth arguing before one of the men walked down the block angrily, according to witnesses. Minutes later, one of the men in his 20s, they say, came banging and kicking on the bodega doors, with the girls still inside. Workers locked the door until he walked away again. When they unlocked the doors, that's when the attack happened.
A guy in all black had stabbed one of the girls in her neck and the other in her arm and ran,
leaving the knife he used right there on scene. Officials expect Samia's twin sister to be okay, while the workers who witnessed the brutal attack, too, have their scars.
When I come in, they went out. They look like in their faces like so sad about it.
The news reinforcing nearly every father's fear.
I think every father would think about something like this happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the worst call you could get, like, you know, something happened to your daughter.
Now, police have yet to make an arrest in the case. Anyone who may have seen anything or know anything about the suspect is asked to come forward. In Park Slope, Brooklyn, Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Tonight, an argument ends with two women stabbed in Brooklyn.
And one of them has died, and now the search is on for the suspects responsible. Eyewitness News reporter Reagan Medji is live at the scene. Reagan, what can you tell us in Park Slope?
Yeah, I can tell you that two 19-year-old girls were stabbed after an argument early this morning. One 19-year-old girl has died. A second 19-year-old girl is in the hospital recovering from her injuries. This over an argument, and it happened just before 2:30 this morning. I'm going to step out of the way. It happened at this deli. You can see police are still on the scene trying to piece it all together. We are located in Park Slope at the corner of 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place. Again, police say this all took place right before 2:30 this morning. A 19-year-old was killed and stabbed in the neck and chest. A second 19-year-old woman was stabbed in the arm and is in stable condition. One witness says they were with the women at a party and ended up at this deli. The witness explains that's when a man came up to the two and made several advances, but the women turned him down. Now, the witness, who did not want to show their face on camera, explains when the conversation turned violent.
They're not sober. They get rejected and they just escalated tenfold. Like, we was all having a good night before this. We just had left and we went to the store to get food. We was all getting sandwiches or like beef patties just to eat. We're hungry. We want to go home, and this happens.
Now, the two teens who were stabbed, taken to New York Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital. One of the teens did not survive. The other one is in stable condition. Both men took off, and police are now looking for them. So the police are on the scene again. We are in Park Slope, Brooklyn, on the corner of 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place, and that stabbing happening right behind me at the deli. We're live here in Park Slope. Reagan Medji, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Family is devastated. It's very senseless. A young life has been taken, and our community is devastated from it.
Cynthia, who did not want to give her last name, is a longtime family friend mourning the loss of 19-year-old Samaya Spain. Detectives say a man fatally stabbed her outside this bodega on the corner of St. Mark's Place and 4th Avenue in Park Slope early Sunday morning.
She was just a sweetheart and a beautiful young lady. She had a very good heart. She cared for her community, and we love her.
Pieces of yellow police tape could still be seen left hanging outside the bodega Sunday afternoon, just a few hours after that gruesome attack. According to a witness who did not want to show their face on camera, Spain and her 19-year-old sister rejected a man's advances, which led to an argument. The man allegedly left the store, came back acting erratic before stabbing one of them in the chest and the other in the arm. The witness claims to have been at a party with the sisters moments earlier.
A guy in all black had stabbed one of the girls in her neck and the other in her arm and ran. So then everybody gets to attending her to try to slow down the bleeding. She was gushing blood just down her entire body, covering the street.
As the deadly stabbing is now under police investigation, cell phone video shows commotion and what appears to be a group of people arguing inside the bodega before that stabbing. The two women were taken to a nearby hospital, but sadly, Spain could not be saved. Her sister, who detectives have not identified, is still recovering from her injuries. Now, as family and loved ones piece together a tragedy that will forever change their lives, they're remembering a young life lost too soon. Posters and candles spelling out the word twin for the slain sister sits outside of her apartment building in the Wyckoff Gardens.
Now we got to deal with putting her to rest, and it's hurting every last one of us.
And right now there's a sign on this bodega, which is normally open 24 hours, saying that it's closed, although we can't confirm if it's related to this stabbing. And police say right now they are talking to the surviving sister, just trying to get more information about that attack. Now, at this hour, police say no arrests have been made and the investigation remains ongoing.
News out of Park Slope. A young woman stabbed to death, her sister in the hospital, and witnesses say it happened. So we've been following this tragic story all day, and we've just learned the identity of the deceased victim. News 12's Julia Joseph is at the scene on 4th Avenue, where the community is still shaken up.
Noel, police have confirmed that the girl who passed away was 19-year-old Samaya Spain. She lived just blocks away from where the stabbing happened. An eyewitness tells us her sister was also stabbed and watched Spain die right in front of her. This all happened after an apparent altercation between two men and the sisters around 12:20 this morning. One witness believed it all started when a guy tried to make a move on the sisters and he was rejected. What happened after that is heartbreaking.
One of the guys had complimented the two girls that had walked in with their friends, and they said no, they weren't attracted.
As a precaution, witnesses tell us the bodega closed its doors for a couple minutes to keep the two men out. Police saying one was wearing a mask, but when they opened them back up, the suspects were still there and things turned deadly.
He ran back into the door and started attacking them. They get right in front of the deli, they're fighting, and then a guy in all black had stabbed one of the girls in her neck and the other in her arm.
Spain was passed out in the street. Witnesses say one of her friends used her own shirt to try and control the bleeding. Police tell us both of the sisters were transported to the hospital, where Spain was then pronounced dead. This morning, neighbors in the area disturbed how this all transpired.
I walk around in the city regularly as a single woman, and safety is really important.
Kun says the man's actions were unacceptable.
All types of interactions like that should be, consensual, and to say no and then have this type of violence occur is horrifying and absolutely unacceptable.
We're told the second sister is in stable condition. Right now, police say no arrests have been made, but we'll continue to keep you updated on this heartbreaking situation. We're in Park Slope. Julia Joseph, News 12.
Hermanas de 19 años fueron atacadas con un cuchillo y una de ellas trágicamente perdió la vida. Ocurrió afuera de una tienda en la Cuarta Avenida y, según testigos, pasadas las 2 de la mañana de hoy, el presunto agresor se encontraba en la puerta de un deli y que las hermanas no le habrían prestado atención a lo que él les decía, lo que entonces supuestamente provocó su ira. Intentó entrar al deli, pero cerraron las puertas y, sin embargo, apenas abrieron esas puertas, se dice que atacó a las dos mujeres, quitándole la vida a una de ellas. Tras el incidente, sabemos que el atacante huyó y ahora la policía realiza una investigación para poder dar con su paradero. Ahora nos vamos hacia el Bronx, donde la policía identificó a un hombre hispano que murió baleado anoche en Morris Avenue. Se trata de una persona que identifican como Alexis Ramírez, de 47 años, quien residía en ese mismo condado. Las autoridades encontraron al hombre con múltiples impactos de bala en la calle cerca de las 10 de la noche. Fue trasladado al hospital, pero fue declarado fallecido unas horas después. Por ahora no se han realizado arrestos asociados a este incidente. La policía realiza una investigación para poder esclarecer los hechos. Y ahora preste mucha